guys, Jamil here from AutoIndustriya.com, and we have the new Mitsubishi. Marcus!
Hey!
Really glad to see you here. Glad you could join us. Let's do that again, shall we? Hey guys, it's me, Jamil, and Marcus from AutoIndustriya.com, bringing you the new Mitsubishi Xpander Cross. But before anything else, please make sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel so you can follow us here. Now, in the Philippine market, you know, Marcos, we love our 7-seaters, right? Because we like to bring our family along, we like to bring our barcadas, and that's the reason why all of the mainstream brands mostly have 7-seater MPVs or even bigger cars out in the lineup to really make an impact here in the industry. And that also gives it a tight competition. That's why everyone wants to bring out the freshest, the newest products around, and that brings us to the refreshed Xpander Cross. So what do you think, Marcos, of this latest update from Mitsubishi with the Xpander Cross?
This is already on its second facelift, but the Xpander Cross still looks fresh and still looks very macho, very aggressive. Actually.
I like the black accents here along with the chrome. I think they blend in really well,
Yeah, actually,
right?
Combined with this nice green color, actually, this gives up a very SUV-like look.
Yeah,
right?
especially down below, you can see here. You know, it actually reminds me of a bull bar from the 90s, you know, like the old vans that used to have those overriders. Now they've integrated it here. It actually looks nice. And also the wheels, right? Black and chrome.
Yeah.
And that's what, 17s?
17s, yes. These are new 17 two-tone alloy wheels that actually really look good with the new color of this car.
Yeah, actually. And the ground clearance of this, I think it's the class leading, right?
Yes, that's right. The Xpander Cross has the class leading 225 millimeters of ground clearance, which means you can tackle any kind of debris or terrain with ease.
Yeah, and being the SUV-ish styling on the Xpander lineup, this is the Xpander Cross. That's why you see the overriders, the fender flares. You also have the roof rails. It's actually functional, right?
Yes, those are functional roof rails.
They also have, I think it's new for 2025, the 360-degree camera. We'll have more of that later. But first, let's check out the back of the Xpander Cross. So, Marcos, talk me through the changes that Mitsubishi did for the 2025 model year of the Xpander Cross. Because they don't seem to be much, right? Here
Not
at the back.
much, actually, because, the only obvious change that they did here was actually this one. The new rear bumper.
Actually, it's much thicker, I think, than before. You have
these new reflectors here too.
Yeah, reflectors, and they seems to have more color actually. You know, a bit less black cladding, if you will. Much more body color. So more or less,
same,
there's very slight changes, same
badging, same wipers, same third brake light too.
Yeah,
actually.
even the badging also.
But let's see what's inside.
This is pretty familiar because, you know, I was the one who also reviewed the previous facelift of the Xpander Cross. I'm just concerned it doesn't have a power tailgate, right? But when it comes to this, I think it's still pretty much optimum, if you will.
More than
7-seater MPVs because they also have this hidden compartment.
This is I like because again you can place here some small items and of course some items that you don't want to be seen by other people.
Actually,
right?
Or even wet stuff. Actually,
that's true.
If you come from jogging or
you come from a swim from somewhere,
or even from the market. Actually, if your wet goods, you can actually put them in here para hindi naman bumaho tong carpet nitong Xpander Cross. With the third rows up, I think you have about 14 inches of length, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And this one is about 40 inches long and 41 inches wide. So pretty good space, especially considering its size.
Considering its size, yeah.
They also have these pockets right in here so you can secure your items.
You can secure some tall items here too, maybe like something.
Yeah, like a car care kit siguro, kasya naman dyan. And it's easy to pull on these tabs actually. If you pull them up.
Let's see.
Yeah. Very easy to pull them up also. So you're the one who likes to do your groceries on the weekends.
Yeah.
So this will be very handy for you. But this, I'm really concerned that doesn't have a, power tailgate. But
to be honest, simpler is better. It doesn't have to have a power tailgate, in my view at least.
Actually, speaking of simpler is better, why don't we check out the engine?
Sure. And here, my friends, is the 4A91.
So it's still the same engine as before.
Yep.
So it's a 1.5 liter twin cam.
Yes, of course.
YVEC And how much power does it make now?
I believe it makes 105 horsepower and 141 newton-meters of torque.
141 Newton meters of torque. So still a 4-speed automatic, right?
Yep,
With
surprising
front-wheel
in this day
drive.
and age, they still have a 4-speed. But
Yeah, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
that's true.
So naturally aspirated engines, very easy to maintain, very reliable, and you see with a lot of Xpander and Xpander Cross
Yeah.
out in the city roaming around, and they seem to not have problems at all with this particular engine. So yeah, I think when it comes to power, we'll find out later on once we're driving it. Also has active yaw control now.
Yes.
But the engine itself, take a look at here. The air intake is pretty high also. So pwede rin pambaha, no?
Actually,
So,
yes, because it's
so
high.
the engine is mounted pretty low, so we have low center of gravity. Gonna be good when it comes to the handling. And I like the packaging here. They also the plastics in here, also
Yeah.
the hood, and the engine bay is really painted. That's what I like. That Mitsubishi didn't really
Skimp on the
yeah.
not painting the
They didn't do
panels.
shortcuts when it comes to the manufacturing of this. Paid attention to detail. So like the lights, very small battery actually, but I think that's enough because it's not an electrified model. You only need to power the devices in here.
True.
It's still the aircon is still connected to the engine, so no problems at all. Yeah, I think that does it here for our engine bay. So you think we should head inside and check out the interior, right?
Why not? Let's go.
We have Marcos checking out the third row of the Mitsubishi Xpander Cross. Marcos, I'm the smaller guy, but you insisted on checking out the third row seat of the Xpander Cross. For me, I'm not usually comfortable with sitting on the third row, but how is it in there for you?
Well, surprisingly, yeah, there's not much space at first because, again, the seats are like so near to my legs that's like there's no more space. But,
Yeah.
Jamil, demonstrate.
You can actually, I think you can move the seats forward, right?
Yes, here we go. And here it
that's
is. I have more space, right?
That's more like it. So what else can you see in there?
There's not much here, but then again, it is a third row, and third rows for this kind of vehicles are like really small, but not to worry because you can actually recline these seats.
Like I noticed, it also has, you
Yeah.
know, some cup holders in there, and you have a 12-volt power outlet. Like you have your charger in there,
Yep,
right?
here. You can actually put the 12-volt charger here and high power.
So good ka na dyan. Tara na, lista tayo. Sige ka na sa third row.
Sige.
Just kidding. So checking out for this second row of the Xpander Cross. This is the space that you'll have if Marcos is sitting at the back. Still have some decent legroom in here. Also, the headroom is pretty much good. We have rear AC vents at the top, so you can share with the third row occupants. You can pull on the vents and put them up right there, so Marcos can really reach and be cool at the back of the Xpander Cross. And in here, we also have some pockets, so you can put your phones. You have your armrest. So this is actually, you can already call this a 40-20-40 seat.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, so if you have tall items at the back, and you can actually, put them up here if you're not gonna be filling up the Xpander Cross with, a lot of occupants. You have your armrest in here, 2 cup holders, the headrest, and you have the seat belts also, center seat belt, which is somewhat,
kind of old school actually, but I
Yeah.
guess it works.
yeah, it also works as long as, everyone can be secured. So that's pretty much about it. And we also have, the seat pockets at the back and some cup holders in here. So pretty good, actually, for, an MPV of this size. I think, everyone's gonna have comfortable time inside.
Yeah.
Mitsubishi Xpander Cross. But I think you wanna go dibs on the driver's seat again, Marcos?
Sure, why not?
Oh, come on, let's check out the front row of the Mitsubishi Xpander Cross.
And now I'm back in the driver's seat. And if you've noticed, this has a new two-tone black and burgundy finish, which is really nice, actually. It doesn't have the black and blue, but you know what? It's better, to be honest.
Yeah, it has a premium feel to it, but what else is new here?
Thank you for the surprise. It now has a new digital instrument cluster, which is kind of looks like the one on the right.
Like the X-Force, actually.
Actually, yeah,
right?
kinda look
With
like the
new
same one.
graphics. Previously, it was like the Montero Sport.
Yeah.
Even the steering wheel, I think I noticed it's already new. What else have we got? What are the buttons in there?
Yeah, this has some, of course, in typical fashion, this has the volume controls. You have the skip buttons. For the
Then on the right side,
cruise control, which is always a
it
nice
has-
touch for cruise control when you're going on long road trips.
I see. Very intuitive touchscreen, and I still see you have plenty of gas left in the tank, right?
Yep.
What else is new? Okay, I think that got bigger, right?
Yeah. Yes. This has a new 10-inch touchscreen, and then check this out.
It now has 360 degree. Is
Yeah.
that a 360 degree
Yes.
camera? Gonna be helpful for parking, going into the sides, also
Checking
parallel
out your blind
parking.
spots.
Yeah. The quality is actually pretty good also.
Yeah.
For a Japanese car, usually it's the Chinese that has
The
better
high-
quality cameras, but this one not so bad for its segment, if you will. Does it have the predictive lines? Oh no, doesn't
No,
have it.
it doesn't. Well, unfortunately. But the feature that I really like about here is it now has wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, which is always a favorite of mine.
Favorite. You don't like wires that much, but does it have wireless charging?
Unfortunately, it doesn't have wireless
Doesn't
charging.
have one.
But yeah, then again, this is already quite getting up there in years, so I'm guessing
Somehow.
hopefully they will have that feature in the next one.
Juicy But I think, is the climate control, or is it already an auto climate control? I think not yet.
It's
right?
not really a full automatic
Still the
climate
same.
control. It has more of a digital control actually, which is not bad. But then, if it's really hot, you can just press max cool. Then there you go.
And the thing here is, it still has a toggle control, so you don't really have to fiddle much with the buttons.
Yes.
The touch screen, less distracting. I think that works out better. I just think they could have put in climate control just for good measure, like something extra.
Yeah, sure.
And then the difference between the Xpander and Xpander Cross, this one has an electronic parking brake, right?
Yes, this one has a electric parking brake, which is now on actually, which is now engaged. So
You have auto brake hold there as well. Still has a brindle shifter because 4-speed auto.
four-speed automatic, yeah.
Then you have the armrest in there.
Yeah, this is a proper armrest. It's not something that you would like to.
How's it? How does it feel to the touch?
How do I look?
Or you feel relaxed.
Yes.
Even the side in there, soft touch panels. So they have also improved, the materials in here. I like the stitching on the seat.
Yeah, actually, this has this nice, just like the one that you see on the dashboard. This one also has come with the burgundy style contrast.
Then you have the pockets in there for
Yeah, some
your
phones
usual
maybe,
stuff.
some of your maybe a ticket here.
So perfect for the family. So what else is missing here? Do you think?
There are some small pockets here, but I'm not sure if you could put any stuff in here. Maybe like some coins or something.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered what's in front of the Mitsubishi Xpander Cross when it comes to the interior. So come on, let's go for a drive. So I want to be passenger princess for once.
All right,
Pwede.
sure, why not?
Let's go.
Let's go.
There have been many 7-seater MPVs that came after the Mitsubishi Xpander Cross, but 7 years on, it's still one of the most comfortable MPVs that I've ever ridden on. It's actually my first time to ride in the second row, and I could imagine that the mother or the kids will have a comfortable time in here. The space that I have right now is really, really good. It's fantastic. I'm only alone in the second row, so I can pull down the armrest. You have these cup holders in here also. And the ride comfort is really a major plus when it comes to this particular vehicle. And Marcos seems to be having a good time behind the wheel also. He's the one driving. First time ko maging passenger princess. Sarap pala, no? But Marcos, how's the experience from there in front?
I actually like driving the Mitsubishi Xpander Cross because this has a very commanding view of the road. Even though it's a 7-seater MPV, you sit up high. You have an SUV-like view, which is always a plus when it comes to taking those long road trips. And of course, trying to avoid those road bumps.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, I also noticed the side mirrors are pretty big. So how's the vision from there?
Actually, I have no problem seeing out of the side mirrors because they are actually one of the biggest in the segment too.
I see. But what about the steering and the brakes? How do they feel? Sometimes, older cars, they have that feeling na parang medyo loose or something.
Yeah, this
Medyo, you can really feel its age from there. But how about here in the Xpander Cross?
Despite its age, yes, I know, this is still a first generation model. But again, what's great with Mitsubishi is they really do keep things updated and fresh with the Xpander Cross. Despite its age, this still has very, progressive brakes. And also, its power delivery, not bad as well. Because again, it only has 1.5 liters of displacement. But thanks to Maybach, it's quite punchy, especially in low-speed traffic. And of course, on the highway.
Oh, that's good. But Marcos, you've been with this Xpander Cross for like, what, a week already?
Yeah.
And how's the experience so far when it comes to the fuel economy? Alam ko, traffic sa inyo sa Marikina eh.
Unfortunately, going out of Marikina in the morning can be quite a chore, but then surprisingly, in lighter city traffic conditions, the Xpander Cross can do between 8 to 9 kilometers per liter. Not bad, but can be better. Again, because but then again, because you only have 4 speeds to play with.
Most of our viewers, some of the comments that we see also whenever MPVs and 7-seater small MPVs are being launched, and they know that it has a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine with CVTs, they always say, it's underpowered. So would you agree with that with the Xpander Cross?
I have to disagree because again, despite having 1.5 liters to play with, it's actually quite punchy if you're just alone in the car, or in this case, we have 2.
Yeah. I think, we just have to manage our expectations because, 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engines can only do so much. I have a 1.5 liter engine on my Yaris also, right?
Yeah.
But, in no way does it seem like it's underpowered. Of course, there are other MPVs that are turbocharged. Some have already become hybrids.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, the simplicity of this, I think it just works especially if you have a family, you don't have to really mind anything about, the maintenance costs, especially, gassing up. This one has what? 45
liter capacity, yes.
Yeah, so when it comes to efficiency, not much problems. So I think, that's the reason why MPVs like this are, they're all over the metro, all over the roads, because it's very simple. And as for a family, 7 seats, everyone can fit in.
Yeah.
That's why, we see a lot of these on the roads. And with that being said, guys, that's our driving impressions for the Mitsubishi Xpander Cross. I think we better head back to the warehouse kasi baka hinihintay na tayo nila
Actually, yeah. The Mitsubishi Xpander Cross has a price tag of 1.378 million pesos, which is quite high actually.
Yeah, and it's the most expensive in the Xpander lineup. And that begs the question, Marcos. When it comes to features, there's a bit of a difference when it comes to the interior and the exterior. There's quite a bit of a price difference between the Xpander GLS and the Xpander Cross. So what do you think about that?
What's great about it actually is, despite the slight price difference, they almost have the same level of features. But for those that want their MPV looking like a mini SUV, well, again, just look at it. It really looks macho. It really looks robust. So yeah, different folks, different strokes.
That's right. And what do you think about that, guys? So let us know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Jamil Lacuna.
And this has been Marcos de Guzman
for AutoIndustriya.com. Thank you for watching.